It has been a soggy Sunday across North Mississippi. Unfortunately, we're still going to be talking about these rain chances lingering around tonight, but not quite as heavy as some have received earlier today, / also right now. So I'll be walking you through everything you need to know as we get ready for the overnight period and the work week ahead. So our rainy Sunday is going to continue overnight. We're still talking about these showers affecting us here in North Mississippi, but thankfully that faucet, it's going to start turning off just a little bit more. And then we're still talking about those isolated chances of storms tomorrow. More isolated in nature to start off the work week, so not quite as widespread as we've seen today. Almost all of us here in North Mississippi have seen the chance to see those rain changes kind of move through our area. It's going to be a little bit more isolated into your Monday, into your Tuesday before we'll finally return to drier conditions. And unfortunately, with those drier conditions, that Mississippi heat, it will return as well. We're going to start talking about that humidity, that mugginess building on up, those heat and seas on the climb, which we could see some of those heat products get kind of issued later on this work week. So I wanted to give you guys the latest heads up. But we can take a look at some current heavy downpours. This is out here in West Point. An impressive shot of that shelf cloud moving on through. 81 degrees, feels like 86. Now, of course, once this moves on through, you're going to start feeling a lot better once that rain-cooled air kind of makes its way through West Point. But very heavy storms earlier, and I think we had a few lightning strikes earlier, but radar still showcasing. There we go, right on cue. Some flashes of lightning as well. So again, we're not talking about anything severe. No severe storms have moved through North Mississippi. These all continue to stay sub-severe, but can still pack a punch just with the heavy amounts of rainfall at one time could cause some localized areas of flash flooding. But impressive shot out there in West Point. Out here in Oxford, 79 degrees, feels like 82. Wind looks like it's not coming in, but usually it'd say 0. But still just showcasing those soggy conditions, those gloomy skies above out there in Oxford, but not quite as an impressive shot as that West Point camera had. Out here in Iuka, still showcasing those soggy conditions. You can see the current radar of some of those showers getting closer and closer towards you guys. 75 degrees. There's an example of that rain cool air feeling like 73. So not too dramatic, but still always better to feel slightly cooler than definitely warmer than what those temperatures are reading outside. Now take a look at the first 12. We're still talking about these rain chances lingering throughout the overnight period ahead. Low 80s by 7 o'clock, and we'll continue cooling off towards the mid 70s. And honestly, once we cross midnight and on, we're kind of in that same pattern as last night where we just kind of see those sprinkles and light showers move on through. Basically just turn off the thunder and rumbles of thunder. Not quite going to hear that overnight, but we're still keeping those rain chances in the forecast throughout your day tomorrow. We'll start slowly warming up towards the mid 70s by 7 o'clock, and a few of us could see somewhat of a soggy start to our work week. Now, our Mama Justice Doppler radar still showcasing these rain chances moving through North Mississippi. And right now, the only impressive spot in all of North Mississippi is out here in the Golden Triangle region. You can see that kind of this batch of just storms moving on through. A few lightning strikes depicted on it earlier, but not quite as energized. Again, we're not talking about anything severe at this moment, and thankfully it continues to, or it stayed that way all day today. But still just seeing these heavy amounts of just showers move on through, getting closer towards the Lowndes County, getting closer towards Columbus, and we can put this on a loop for the past, we can go hour just to see that kind of continue moving on through. So pretty quick moving storms, not going to sit on top of you guys for a while, but still dropping that heavy amount of rainfall. But zooming back out to all of North Mississippi, just these pop-up showers moving on through, but not quite seeing the same amount of coverage that we saw earlier today. Let's go back on a loop for the past, let's go 6 hours. You can see almost all of North Mississippi just seeing the chance of rainfall all throughout the day today. Thankfully, starting to see that faucet kind of click closer to turning off a little bit, not seeing them as widespread. We're returning to the isolated nature. That will continue to be the story for your Monday and Tuesday. So not all of us will continue to see this rainfall throughout the next few days, but it's definitely still in the forecast for a few of us. Now, take a look at our surface analysis. Again, we don't really have any weather makers down here in the southeast where there is, of course, some severe weather, thankfully not bothering us down here. So in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, we're still just talking about all this rainfall ongoing, and we've actually had an emergency flash flood warning get issued for close towards the Huntsville region in Alabama. So this weather can still pack a punch just with the heavy amounts of rainfall, but thankfully not quite having to deal with that here in Mississippi, and we're hoping to keep it that way as well. So Futurecast still depicting those heavy batches a little bit further north by that 6:30 time, but these showers continue to move on through. And as we continue into the overnight period, we're still talking about just heavy showers and batches of rain moving through North Mississippi, but starting to get turned off a little bit by midnight. By 12 o'clock, we're talking about drier conditions. Still a few light showers moving on through, but nothing as heavy or as intense today, just with some of those rumbles of thunder. And even by 7 o'clock and on, we're still talking about some of those showers just kind of lingering over North Mississippi, offering somewhat of a soggy start to our Monday morning. But again, not all of us. And by 10 o'clock, we're starting to talk about drier conditions. A few more rain changes a little bit further northwest out there towards Arkansas, pushing out of Missouri. And a few of these will try to push closer towards Mississippi. And we're still talking about just that summertime setup here in Mississippi where we could see pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Of course, I'll give you an in-depth look on who that will affect coming up here in the next few minutes. But the next 24 still showcasing pretty much low 70s to start off the day, as if we're not used to that already. Continue to warm up quickly towards the upper 80s, low 90s for a few of us, keeping those rain chances pretty but more isolated. So there's a good chance most of us can go pretty much for a day tomorrow. We pop up showers and a few rumbles of thunder tomorrow afternoon. That will continue in the evening as we start slowly cooling off towards the upper by 9 o'clock. As I mentioned, I'm going to give you a chance for the rest ahead in Tuesday, Mississippi. All that's coming up right after this break.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
I have been going to Tupelo Smiles my whole life. When I was a kid, I was unhappy about some uneven coloring on my teeth after getting my braces off, which at the time there really wasn't a fix. I was recently made aware of a solution that would totally fix it, which is exactly what we did. They not only heard my concerns, but they never stopped looking to solve my problem, and that's why I love Tupelo Smiles.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us for Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Let's take a fantastic look at this weather watcher picture. This was sent in by Russell out there in Itawamba County, still showcasing some of those shelf clouds just moving on through. Again, these have stayed below severe limits, but they can still look pretty impressive and just dump that heavy amounts of rainfall in the short span of time. So a very impressive shot while they looked like to be out on the river, and looks like they're going the opposite way. So hopefully they kept that trend, but an impressive shot sent in by Russell out there in Itawamba County earlier on today. Now the evening planner, still talking about these rain chances throughout the start of our evening. 30% coverage by 8 o'clock, temperatures in the upper 70s. We're going to slowly cool off, and you can tell we're not cooling off by much, only reaching the mid 70s by 2 o'clock, and that's almost about as low as some of us will get. But that rain coverage starting to dwindle down just a little bit more. Then we're talking about just light showers, and those kind of stay consistent throughout the forecast throughout the next 24 to 48 hours, but only affecting a few of us. Now those temperatures right now all across North Mississippi, kind of a little bit different compared to whether or not that rain's impacted you a little bit more or not. 87 out there in Belzona, 86 Greenwood and Greenville. On the flip side, 75 in Corinth and Iuka, 82 out there in Starkville, getting closer towards the West Point region as that rain's kind of pushing on through, helping to make us feel a lot better. And speaking of that, taking a look at your current feels like values, I mean, some of us feeling, or honestly, most of us feeling dramatically warmer than what those temperatures are reading outdoors. So we can already see the impact that moisture, that mugginess is having on us. But as we continue throughout the work week, it's going to get pretty brutal pretty quick. So I want to make sure to give you a good heads up before we get there. Now, Futurecast still depicting those heavier showers in the Golden Triangle region, pushing up Highway 45 by 6:30 this evening. That's going to continue to be the story. Just still seeing these heavy downpours focused down there for you guys closer towards the Golden Triangle region and almost surrounding you guys out there for Starkville, West Point, and Columbus. That's at 8 o'clock later on tonight. Little light showers further on north. But once we get towards 10 o'clock, we're still talking about a few heavier pockets of rainfall. Again, not talking about anything super stormy. Could hear a few rumbles of thunder, maybe even a few flashes of lightning, but that sun's going to continue to set, cut off that daytime heating. Won't have too much fuel to act on by that time, but still talk about those rain chances by 10 o'clock. And once we make it towards midnight and on, we're just talking about these light showers again. And this is almost exactly what we went through last night, just these showers moving through North Mississippi. Most of us don't even realize they're happening if you fall asleep before. You just kind of wake up to some of those drops on the car and getting ready to start your day. But you can tell by 6 o'clock as we start off the work week tomorrow, I don't really have the pleasure to sleep in. Could be somewhat of a soggy start to the day for a few of us. Now those low temperatures, like I mentioned again earlier, struggling to drop back down towards the low to mid 70s. That's about as low as we're going to get. 76 in Clarksdale, Cleveland, and Greenville. So that's already temperature it's going to be as you're walking out the door tomorrow. And those temperatures, they're just going to continue to rise throughout the day ahead, where most of us will be wishing for those rain chances to come back. Now, Futurecast still depicting those light showers affecting some of us here by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning as we're starting off the work week. That will continue throughout the mid-morning hours, getting closer towards the lunchtime. You see these showers kind of moving on out, becoming more isolated in nature, not quite as widespread. But once we make it towards the afternoon, we will start talking about some pop-up showers and thunderstorms affecting a few of us. I mean, you can take a look at this. Most of North Mississippi not really seeing that rainfall. In fact, most of the activity will be pretty much across the state line further east in Alabama. But for you guys out there towards Chula and getting closer towards the Hamilton community out there in a few of our Alabama counties, y'all are going to experience some heavy showers and kind of a few thunderstorms throughout the afternoon tomorrow. So not quite as widespread as those chances have been today, but they're still in the forecast as we go about our Monday. So that's around 3:30. As we get closer towards the dinner time frame, Noxubee County still seeing some heavy showers moving on through, but by 6 o'clock, slowly returning to mostly dry conditions, but they're still lingering in our forecast area, especially for you guys out there towards Holly Springs as y'all are celebrating a Monday evening, getting ready to wind down and get ready for your Tuesday. Now those high temperatures, again, going to be slightly warmer throughout your day ahead, especially with these rain chances not really impacting us due to them being more isolated in nature. Upper 80s, low 90s all across our region, but how it feels outdoors continues to be brutal. You can see where it's worse. 102 in South Haven and Tunica, 103 Clarksdale and Cleveland and Greenville, 99 Greenwood and Belzona. I hate to break it to you, but these values are just going to keep rising throughout the work week, especially once we return to these drier conditions. We're just going to feel worse and worse as we go about the work week, which is why those heat advisories, they could be in place later on this week. So let's start the hydration. Keep those water bottles handy because it is that time of the year here in Mississippi. We're already seeing that pink and purple shade start to return on our feels like map. So definitely going to be warmer, muggier, just humid throughout the next few days ahead and soak up these rain chances as well. But of course, had to put in the ice cream planner because I know it's the work week tomorrow, but if we're able to get out, kind of enjoy a sweet treat while it's still going to be just so stinking hot throughout the week, might as well. Mid to upper 80s by 1 o'clock. That's going to continue throughout the day. A few of us seeing a few rain showers, but again, more isolated in nature tomorrow, not quite as widespread as we're seeing today. So you'll see that percentage dropping slightly compared to today and into tomorrow. Now, Futurecast, this is our strike model, still showcasing a few light showers affecting us here in North Mississippi. This is at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, starting to finally return to those drier conditions. And as we continue throughout the overnight period, the chances just kind of stick around as well. This time affecting you guys out there towards Tippah and Alcorn County, affecting some of you guys in Union, getting closer towards the Itawamba, Tishomingo, Prentiss County line as well. That's at 10 o'clock, so could still be talking about those rain chances as we're winding down for bed. Thankfully, returning to those drier conditions overnight and will be a much drier start to our Tuesday morning work commute. So something to look forward to as we continue pushing into the work week. But still, once we reach those afternoon hours, we're still just talking about these summer pop-up thunderstorms affecting us here in North Mississippi. A little bit more focus along the Alabama-Mississippi state line for you guys out there in the southern portions of Tishomingo County, getting closer towards Itawamba. That's at 12:30. But most of the activity continues to stay further east. So we're still talking about these rain chances, but for you guys out there further west, especially in the Delta, don't quite bank on those rain chances just yet. They continue to stay further and further east in our viewing area. This is at 2 o'clock, still showcasing a few of those rain chances. And they just kind of travel down Highway 45. By 6 o'clock on your Tuesday night, still talking about a few heavier showers getting closer towards Noxubee County and right on the southern portions of Lowndes, a little bit heavier out there towards Starkville and still within the Golden Triangle region and just focused along Highway 45. Of course, once we push through dinner time, get ready for our evening overnight period. We're returning to drier conditions, and it's finally this point and on where those rain chances really start to cut off, and we're just going to stay dry and, of course, start to kind of feel that humidity and that mugginess continue to rise. So those high temperatures for your Tuesday, these are not feels like values. This is already what the temperature will reach as we go about our day. Still very toasty, low 90s for pretty much all of us here in North Mississippi. A few upper 80s, but you can see where those rain chances will help you guys out and where they are. Still most northeastern portion of our viewing area, but those feels like values still just downright brutal. Triple digits along the Mississippi River, and they'll continue to spread all across our viewing area. So I'm going to make sure to keep that water bottle handy. It's going to continue to rise and just be downright sticky throughout the work week ahead. And of course, showing you the forecasted rainfall, you can definitely tell where it is more likely to occur and kind of how much we can expect. Further east you go, better chances you have pretty much along the state line, Highway 45, up to an inch out there in Booneville in Prentiss County, and just 3/4 inch out there in Alcorn County for you guys out there in Corinth, and still probably around an inch in some spots in Benton County. But still showcasing we do have some rain on the way, just not quite going to affect all of us like what we saw earlier on throughout our Sunday. Now that 7-day forecast kind of showcases exactly that. The rain chances, they're in the forecast, but most of us will continue to stay dry. Chance of rain showers tomorrow, upper 80s for your highs. Continue to warm up into the low 90s pretty much for the rest of the work week. Thursday, we're staying pretty much completely dry, enjoying those sunny skies, but definitely will be enjoying them in the AC and kind of behind a window to look at. Definitely don't want to be outside of just how toasty it'll be. And then by next weekend, unfortunately, looking to be pretty soggy yet again, but the time we get there, I think we'll be rooting for those rain chances, trying to help us cool down and slowly work our way back down into the upper 80s by Sunday. So still got a week to go until we can enjoy those rain chances, but we're still technically enjoying them right now. So don't go anywhere. I want to give you the very latest on kind of what those heat indices look like throughout the week ahead. But we're also covering those coastline forecasts and especially taking a special look at Biloxi. All that's coming up right after this break.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
How do you know if your roofer is actually telling you the truth or just trying to sell you something you don't need? I'm Chris with Absolute Restoration. When we come out, we don't tell you what's wrong. We show you with photos, videos, and documentation. You'll see exactly what we see so you can make your own decision. And we back our work with a 50-year warranty and a 25-year algae warranty. Plus, no cost upgrades with 0% financing and no payment for 6 months.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live, weather at 6. Let's take a look at our rainfall totals over the past 24 hours. You can tell these colors all across North Mississippi showing these widespread rain chances moving on through. This is the last day we can really talk about almost all of us seeing the rain as it passes on through North Mississippi. Starting tomorrow and on, more isolated in nature, still not completely out of the forecast. But out there in Grenada County, just around over 1.25 inches, almost an inch out there towards Starkville, and then 2 inches out here in Itawamba County where we saw that impressive photo earlier on. Over 3 inches closer towards the Iuka city and community out there in Tishomingo County, but still showcasing the amount of rainfall that we've received throughout today. You can also see where I'm covering up a lot more rainfall. I think it was coming in around 8 inches earlier when we looked at it, so still showcasing heavy amounts of rainfall that Alabama was getting. They also got those flash flood emergency and those warnings. So thankfully, not dealing with that here in North Mississippi. And I know some people were asking in the comments, what about Houston? Could just hear a few more rumbles of thunder. I know a shower was moving on through earlier at the start of the broadcast. That's about it. It's just rain chances moving on through. We're not talking about anything intense or severe, just some rain, definitely much needed and allowing us to kind of cool off and prepare for our work week tomorrow. Now, let's take a look at your beach forecast. We have several locations along the coastline that we can look at here. We can start off with Biloxi, which of course will show you our camera with the North Mississippi storm chasers for providing. Out there, 84 degrees, enjoying partly cloudy skies. These are current conditions. We'll look at the forecast coming up here in the next few minutes, but still kind of showcasing those beautiful conditions out there in Biloxi compared to what we're dealing with. Same thing for Dauphin Island and Gulf Shores. All of these were talking about rain chances yesterday at the time we were going through our 6, 9, and 10. Thankfully, they're enjoying drier conditions further out there in the coastline. And out here in Pensacola, 83 degrees, some winds around 7 miles per hour, still enjoying those partly cloudy skies. And honestly, probably the same will be said for Destin as well, traveling further and further east, 83 enjoying those partly cloudy skies. So definitely a better forecast further south you go, but I know we're kind of counting down the days until we can all make it towards our beach vacation. So we'll keep this in the rotation to keep you guys updated, especially if you're heading to any of those locations within the next few weeks throughout the summer. But like I mentioned, we can give a special look towards Biloxi with our camera out there. 78 degrees by 9 o'clock tomorrow, so we're not talking about current conditions anymore, still showcasing those partly cloudy skies, and looks like the seagulls are enjoying the camera as well. Mid 80s by noon, upper 80s by 3 o'clock. Not quite talking about those rain chances, so any family or friends debating on making a trip or currently ongoing right now, they'll enjoy some beautiful conditions on your Monday tomorrow. But I appreciate all of you guys for tuning on in. I will double check the comments real quick before we wrap this up to make sure you guys don't have any questions. Looks like we have somebody offering some recommendations on what we can do with some graphics. So I'll look at that behind the scenes, because that's one thing I love talking to you guys about while wrapping this up, is for you guys to give us feedback so we can work on things for you guys. And that's what these QR codes will do. They'll take you to the App Store to download the Mississippi Live Weather app. And within that app, you're able to send pictures, send videos, and storm reports. That way we kind of know what's ongoing. We can get that to the National Weather Service, and it helps us out a lot. And we appreciate you guys kind of helping us out. It's all a joint team effort here, and we want to give you the very best. And we appreciate the feedback and support as well, so we can make sure that it is tip-top shape for all of you guys out there. But we'll be live later on tonight at 9 and 10, still talking about those rain chances as we're wrapping up our Sunday and kind of getting ready for our Monday and the work week tomorrow and all the heat that will unfortunately come with it. But I hope you guys continue to have a fantastic rest of y'all Sunday evening. I'll take a look at these comments and recommendations you have behind the scenes and work on that for the 9 and 10. I can't wait to see y'all there.